Any questions, comments, thoughts, concerns, jingles, or interpretive dances? I'm going to stop sharing my screen for a bit.
Gotta wake up. Great stream. No, that I mean, particles are awesome. They really are.
They're a lot of fun and they're really worth playing with. And honestly, what I like to do is just sit there and play with the different parameters and make some stuff.
Oh, so many hours can pass doing that.
Yeah, just make a couple of shapes in Blender. I mean, the stuff you can do just with basic squares is so much fun. A couple of blobs, a couple of smear effects. Get Kenny's particle pack. Download some brushes from DeviantArt for Photoshop or GIMP and just play with those shapes. Like you can do all kinds of stuff, or use meshes. Like there's all, you can do really cool stuff. You can make laser beams. You can make steam. Like there's a lot of really cool stuff you can do with this. Yeah, I feel like I should open YouTube and look at the comments, and I'm going to be doing no thingamies.
I think we're on top of them at the moment.
Good. I should hope so. Hello, everybody. I could also spend 22 hours doing this. But on the other hand, it means when you start making a game, like making battle tactics, you think, I want this effect. I want a flaming character, right? I know that the way my character is animated, the mesh isn't going to be deformed by a rig. So it's much easier just to say, well, it's just a capsule. I'll use that as my emission point.
I'll set him on fire.
Exactly. That sounds amazing, Tinkerer.
Yeah, in the mid-90s, when 3D was just a twinkle in the graphic artist's eye.
I mean, we already had 2.5D, and vector graphics have been around for a while with games like Elite, the original.
Oh, particles, though, bring old hardware down to its knees.
I mean, yeah.
Or to its knees. Down to its knees? Here's your knees.
So we do have, I'm going to do a little bit of shilling. We do have a particle pack, particle assets pack that's available for Godot 3 on our site, which you're welcome to check out. I can't remember if we sell it or if it's free. I know it's one of those two. I think we gave it away for free or something.
I'm going to go look it up and post the link while you're...
I can't remember. But play with particles. They're awesome. There's all kinds of stuff you can do. And in Godot 4, there's things like collision particles. There's sub-emitters. So once it's finished emitting a particle, it'll emit a second one. And it'll say, do you want to emit it from where that particle was? Yes or no? Like, there's really cool things you can do. So play with them. That's my advice.
Here we go.
Sorry. It's hot. I'm winding down.
It's very hot. Hey, I've reached 29 degrees C. I don't know why I'm pleased about that. It's slowly been creeping up, and it was when I posted in the chat earlier, it was 28.9. But it's not really something to celebrate. Oh, so warm. Right, I think this is the right page. Yeah.
It would look really cool this time. I mean, this is just past the time where all graphics tests were a teapot.
Right.
They were.
I wondered why when I was younger. Why is this teapot everywhere?
Because the people who were first working with these algorithms wanted to render something that was reasonably simple but had some subtlety to it, and so they just memorized the formula to make a teapot. And every time they did a test, they just wrote that in. Yeah. So there's our particles pack, which is it's a free pack. I thought so. So download them into Godot, play with them. There's some fun things in there. I quite enjoy it.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean, I've got my evaporative cooler on my desk, but it can only do so much in this heat.
Humidify your room.
It's helping, but... Does Godot have any hard limits on the number of particles you can render at once? I don't know about hard limits. I know about hardware limits. For example, Battle Tactics doesn't run on my laptop. Like, it'll run, but it's unplayable. And I think a lot of that is because of the amount of particles we have. We have a lot of particles going on there.
I am I was chatting the other week. I was thinking of getting a cooler box, a polystyrene cooler box, and basically putting some computer fans at one end and an elbow joint, I think it's called, a 90-degree UPVC pipe, and then just filling it up with ice and letting air go through there and come out and cool down.
I mean, that's what an evaporative cooler is. I mean, I've got this little one on my desk, which is basically paper filter
Mm.
that brings water up and the fan blows it through.
Ice is colder than water. I did
Yes,
science.
it is. And the bigger ones of these you can fill with ice for that very reason. But it's the actual evaporating takes energy, so it cools the room down. I believe it'll let you bring the PC to his knees. I actually don't know.
There'll be some limit. I can't chime in on that. I wouldn't know what the actual engine.
I mean, there will be some kind of hard limit because there's a point where it's like I can't do a bigger integer, but I don't know. I generally don't know. I've not found it yet, but while particles are not that expensive, they will eventually bring at least older computers down.
Yeah. I suppose that the best answer to that is you need to test it on your end hardware. Because if you're developing for a mobile platform, it's going to be completely different than if you're developing for the latest series of consoles or a PC.
Yeah, absolutely. And test it in its exported form.
Was it particles we had an issue with on AMD systems?
No, it was anti-aliasing.
Oh, it was anti-aliasing. Okay.
Because GLES 3 didn't play nice with anti-aliasing with AMD systems.
Yeah. That was when we were playing around with Mag Racer. But yeah, I mean, this is the sort of thing that you could potentially implement with all games. We've seen campfires, we've seen explosions.
Nice tricks I would do. I mean, we did this when we were doing the prototype for the God of War action RPG, which we'll be going back to very soon. You get your spell, and you have, a rigid body or whatever it is with a particle in it that's going to be moving. You put a light inside it. You have the spell elements adding their colors. You go down to geometry and you disable cast shadows.
Mm-hmm.
Then you switch to shadows on the light.
Yeah.
So the particles look like the light source, and it's really cool.
That is awesome. Oh, especially, and they emit light into the world and interact with the global illumination system. That means you're going to be able to literally create a wisp in the wood and have it fly through. That's awesome.
There's all kinds of amazing things you can do.
I love it. Coming soon to a Godot near you.
I can't remember if I didn't. I was going to put particles in the Boyd's demo we did. It was like, well, the Boyds already look like particles. Putting particles on them is just showing off. At that
particles
point.
On particles.
Yeah. Which you can do. So yeah, I think that brings us to the end of my little segment.
That was awesome. I really enjoyed that, and I hope you guys did
too.
Yeah, awesome.
So yeah, thank you for joining us. If you have any more comments, concerns, and things, you should share them on our Discord or go to Mikey's house and bother him. It's hot. I'm not being bothered.
Yes, find the passed out person, which is exactly what we need to go do now. I was going to ask if you'd been playing any games, but what I found at the moment is using games on my computer or doing any rendering. I'm like, need to leave the room.
Sitting in this room, I mean, okay, I have one small window over here and big thick stone walls, right? It's quite a small room, and I've got padding here, which insulates. Running my graphics card, I have to do it at night. That's the only chance.
And even then, it's not been pleasant at night recently. Anyway, we won't bore you anymore about our temperatures,
our hotness.
Well, hello.
Thank you so much for joining us. I hope you had fun. Go play with particles. They're awesome. Just sit there and play with them. Like, you can make incredible things. Download some free things from Kenny and just have fun. But yeah, drive safe. Don't forget to tip your waitress.
Wear sunscreen.
Drink at the bar.
Especially
don't tie your shoelace in a revolving door.
I'll do. Just make sure someone's videoing at the time.
I hope I survived my hotness too. So yeah, I think that's it. Unless you have any last minute.
Oh, there was one thing. Bye.
Bye.
See you next week.
Bye. Press it. Press it.